you tell us about how y'all met?
Oh, yeah. One of the things that kids did when we were growing up, and this is when we were in high school.
In the 60s.
Yeah. We didn't have a lot of activities out there. There were no
didn't
cell
offer
phones.
as much.
Schools didn't offer as much, and I mean, now you have every kind of sport you can imagine and stuff like that. Well, we didn't have quite that. It wasn't that extensive, but we had dances, and the Beatles were going strong, and Three Dog Night, and all the other rock bands and all that kind of. And there were a lot of local rock bands, live music type thing. And so every Friday and Saturday, there was a dance somewhere. We had dances once a week down at the rec hall in Stephenville.
Yeah.
Then
That's actually where we met, was at the rec hall.
Yeah. And there were dances down at Hyco. In a little Quonset hut. There were dances in Comanche.
In Hamilton.
In Hamilton, yeah. Anyway, so all the kids knew where the dances were going to be
and we both
who was
liked
going
to
play.
dance.
And we always liked to dance. And so we met at a dance,
So
Rita was like junior in high school.
I was
a senior in high school.
What do you most remember about the early days of your relationship?
Oh, goodness.
Well,
you take a stab at it first.
Well, I think that he lived in Dublin and I lived here. So we saw each other on the weekends. We pretty much spent a lot of time with each other on the weekends. We got in the car, and what kids did then is we drove up and down the drag and we saw each other. And so it's interesting because back then students did kind of couple off. Nowadays they tend to run in groups and don't do that as much. So I just remember that we went to a lot of dances. It's interesting because I lived with my grandmother when I was a senior, and Gerald would come over to stay at the house and see us. And my grandmother just loved him. And so one night when it was really late, like 1 or 2 in the morning, because we'd sit up and talk, my grandmother didn't care. Well, it got to be so late that I said, I don't want you driving home, because he wouldn't tend to go to sleep when he was driving at night. So I said, call your parents. So he called home, and he called his dad to tell him he was going to, he just called him and said, Dad, I'm going to stay the night over here at Rita. Well, we had party lines back then.
Click, 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 click. Everybody, when you get something, somebody calls somebody at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Everybody on that party line, and there were like 8 people on the party line. Everybody on the party line said, oh my gosh, there must be an emergency somewhere.
Yeah.
So everybody's picking up and listening. And all I'm saying is, I'm going to stay over at Rita's place.
And what did your dad say the next morning?
He said, well, I went home the next morning and he said, just stay. Just don't call.
Because they didn't say Rita's grandmother's. He said Rita's.
I said it Rita's.
So I just remember that, we tried to squeeze out as much time together as we could.
We really did, and we would.
Because you didn't travel that 12 miles except on the weekends.
That's right. That's right, and it was rare. I mean, you didn't go to Dallas, Fort Worth, or anything like that all that often. It was kind of rare.